Today's topic of discussion is ray optics and optical instruments. We find a number of applications of ray optics in microscopes, telescopes, and other optical instruments. This chapter number 9 is very important for you from the point of view of examination. It has a total of 9 marks. First question will be a 5 marks question and another 3 marks and 1 mark question. The syllabus for the year 2021 has been revised and certain portions have been deleted. The deleted portions are reflection of light, spherical mirrors, mirror formula, scattering of light, blue color of sky, and reddish appearance of sun at sunrise and sunset. Please prepare well because there are a number of important formulae in this chapter which are given at the end of this slide. The methodology adopted for this lecture is in the form of question and answers. In the end, we have included objective type of question and answers, multiple choice type of questions, important formulae, and we have also given numerical problems. This will facilitate you to answer questions in competitive examinations like JEE, NEET, and CET. Let us start. Question number 1. What is refraction of light? Answer. The phenomenon of bending of light when it travels from one optical medium to the other is called refraction. Question number 2. State laws of refraction. First law. The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal drawn at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Second law. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant for a given pair of media and given wavelength of light. Question number 3. Draw a diagram representing lateral shift, that is lateral displacement of a ray passing through a parallel sided glass slab. Answer. The required diagram is shown below. Here, a ray of light is incident in air medium, incident on the glass medium, that is rarer medium to a denser medium at an angle I1 here in the number 1 side of this medium, air medium. The dotted line shown is a normal. So as it travels from a rarer medium to a denser medium, the ray bends towards the normal at an angle R1. R1 is the refracted ray from medium 1 to medium 2. This is medium 2. And it travels an incident on the opposite side of the slab. And here it travels from a denser medium, that is glass to air. And the dotted line shown here is the normal. This one, it is incident at an angle I2 on this surface. The ray bends away from the normal at an angle R2. and this the normal and the actual difference is lateral shift. You are required only to explain to show the diagram. The question asked is draw a diagram representing lateral shift. Lateral shift is shown here. Write a diagram representing apparent depth for a normal and oblique viewing. Please see the figure. Here you please practice. This is a normal view and this is a glass slab, a denser medium. So I is here, the object is kept here, and if you see view from here, it will show the decrease in length. For oblique viewing, it is I is at an angle here, and the same object and same thing, and the light enters here, and the apparent depth is decreased. That means the object appears to have reduced the depth. Question number 5. Mention few illustrations that occur in nature due to refraction of light. Number 1. The apparent shift in the direction of sun and hence 2 minutes apparent delays between actual sunset and apparent sunset is one of the example. Second example is the apparent flattening of sun at sunrise and sunset. These two are the examples of refraction of light. Derive the formula for refractive index of normal refraction. Answer. The refractive index n is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Question number 7. What happens to the direction of incident ray when it travels from optically denser medium to rarer medium, and B, optically rarer medium to denser medium? We have to explain when a ray enters from denser medium to rarer medium and optically rarer medium to denser medium. Part A. Answer. It bends away from normal. That is, when optically denser to rarer, the ray bends away from normal. B. In the second case, that is when a ray travels from a rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. So, you please note it is away for denser to rarer and towards normal to towards normal in case of rarer to denser. Define critical angle. It is a particular angle of incidence in denser medium for which the refracted ray grazes the surface of separation or at the angle or the angle of refraction is 90 degrees. I will read again the answer. It is the critical angle is a particular angle of incidence in denser medium for which the refracted ray grazes the surface of separation or the angle of refraction is 90 degrees. Question number 9. Write the relation between refractive index and critical angle. Answer. Refractive index N12 is given by N12 equals 1 over sin IC, where N12 is a refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2 and IC is the critical angle. Next question. What is total internal reflection? When a ray of light travels from a denser to rarer medium, and if the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, then the light gets totally internally reflected to the same medium. This phenomena is called total internal reflection. This is the normal answer to be given in question paper. I will explain for your benefit. In this, please see the diagram. A ray of light, a ray of light starts from point A. So this is a denser medium. The bottom and gray color is a denser medium, and outside it is a rarer medium here. When a light travels here at this angle, and it is, you know very well that it gets bent. It gets bent at 90 degrees here to form a critical angle. Take another example here wherein the bending is more than 90 degrees. That is, here the bending is here. It is reflected back to the same medium. This is called a total internal refraction. Not reflection. Sorry, reflection. Question number 11. Write the conditions to have total internal reflection. A. Answer A. A ray of light should travel from denser to rarer medium. That is the first condition. And the second condition is the angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle. Question number 12. Mention a few illustrations of total internal reflection. Mirage and sparkling of diamond, total internal reflecting prisms and optical fibers are the examples. Question number 13. On what principle optical fiber does works? It works on the principle of total internal reflection. What is a lens? Question number 14. It is an optical medium bounded by two spherical surfaces. So these are all very short type answers to the point. For more details, you please see our previous videos 9A, 9B and 9C, the links for which is given in the description part of this video. Now let us take up some more cases of refraction of light. In section 9.9, we will study about refraction at spherical surfaces. Consider a convex spherical surface as shown in the figure. This is the figure. This is the convex surface. Mn is the convex surface, where n is the refractive index, u is the distance, and v equals distance of image, and r is equal to radius of curvature of spherical surface. So here this is the spherical surface convex. So it is entering a medium air with a refractive index n1 and a denser medium with a refractive index n2, and u is the object. Object O is placed on the principal axis. This is OI is the principal axis. Object is placed here. The incident ray is incident here. It gets refracted. That is, this is the normal. It bends towards the normal R and meets the principal axis at I. This is a spherical surface. So here it is I. So here OM is the object distance. M is the pole, OU is the object distance, and since image is formed here, V is the image distance. The center of curvature of the spherical surface is C. So it is given as a radius of curvature as R. So let us describe this figure once again. O is the object, ON is the incident ray, and I is the angle of incidence. N1 is the refractive index of the rarer medium, and u is the object distance. Then this ray bends towards the normal and meets at principal axis at I. Therefore, with respect to normal, R is the angle of refraction and N2 is the refractive index of the denser medium. In denser medium, we have a radius of curvature R, that is MC is equal to R, and this distance MI is equal to V. This is image distance. From the geometry of this figure, we will calculate some important formula. In order to derive the formula, we have to know the geometry of this. Please draw this figure and practice it a number of times so that you will understand all the parameters described here, distances and angle of incidence, everything, all the parameters. There are, if you see this, there are three triangles. One is ONM. Triangle, if you take triangle ONM, the tan of this angle, that is NOM, is equal to MN. MN is the opposite side by adjacent side. MO, OM. MN by OM is approximately equal to angle NOM for smaller values of NOM, angle for smaller values. It is tan is equal to angle NOM. Similarly, in triangle NCM, this triangle, this is the second triangle NCM, the tan of NCM, that is tan of NCM, this angle is given by opposite side MN divided by MC. Therefore, that is approximately is equal to angle NCM. And there is yet another third triangle, that is NMI. NIM. Therefore, this angle I, that is angle NIM, is equal to opposite side NM, that is RMN, divided by adjacent side, that is MI. Therefore, these relationship tan is approximately is equal to the angles, respective angles. Therefore, in triangle NOC, let us see the triangle NOC. I is the exterior angle. I is the exterior angle to triangle NOC. Therefore, angle I is equal to angle NOM, that is NOM plus NCM. This is the internal, in this triangle NOC, this is internal angle. External angle I is equal to NOM plus NOC, NCM. That is equal to angle I is equal to MN. This is the MN by OM, here NM by OM plus MN by MC. This is the angle I. Let it be equation 9.98. Then we have to find out angle, internal angle R, that is refracted angle. This refracted angle R is equal to NCM minus NIM, that is NIM. This angle is equal to NCM minus NIM. Therefore, that is given by here from this equation MN minus IM, MN minus MC divided by MN over IM. Let this be equation 9.9b. By Snell's law, we know N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. Let this be equation 9.9c. Therefore, for smaller values of I and R, N1 I is equal to, that is sin I is approximately equal to I and sin R is approximately equal to R. That is for smaller values of angles I and R. Therefore, N1 sin I becomes N1 I and N2 sin R becomes N2 R. Let this be equation 9.d. Substituting the values of I and R from this equation, from this equation 9.9a and b, we get n1 as it is, i's value we have to substitute here equals mn over om plus mn over mc. So i's value of I is written here within small bracket, that is equal to n2 into mn by mc minus mn by im. Let this be equation 9.9e. Therefore, applying the Cartesian sign convention, that is, if we travel along the direction of the light or from left to right, OM is it is along the direction, if OM is in the opposite direction, therefore it is minus u, and MI is positive, therefore positive, and MC is equal to R. Therefore, this equation becomes N1 divided by OM is minus U plus Mn is N1 divided by MC. MC equals R, that is equal to N2 by R. MC is R and N2 is minus of N2 by V. It is simply Mn gets cancelled everywhere. It is 1 over minus U plus 1 over R equals 1 over R minus 1 over V. Hence, this equation will be simplified as N2 by V. This N2 by V we are bringing on the left side, N2 by V to V minus N1 by U equals N2 minus N1 by R. This is equation 9.9f. Refraction by lens. Please study this diagram very carefully. Here O is the object, angle is incident here, and it gets refracted, and again there is one surface, a lens is a combination of two, one convex and another concave surface. It gets bent here and meets at I. Then I also goes up and then it gets bent, and when it is projected, and I becomes the final image. A lens is a uniform transparent medium bounded between two spherical or one plane surface. Here in the figure there are two spherical surfaces, ABC and ADC are two spherical surfaces, and it forms a lens. The second surface can be a plane surface also, then also it is called a lens. Convex lens. A lens which is thinner at edges and thicker at the middle is called convex lens. That is, it is thin here and thin here, this edge, whereas it is a thick at the center, at the middle. So it is a convex lens. A lens which is thicker at the edges, then it is thicker at the edges, and thin at the middle is called the concave or diverging lens. So convex lens is a converging lens and concave lens is a divergent lens. Lens formula is given by equation 1 over f is equal to 1 over v minus 1 over u. This we will be deriving in this section, where f is the focal length. F is the focal length, u is the distance of the object, u is the distance. The object is here and u is the distance of the object, and v is the distance of the final image. This is the image, I is the image. Then we are required to derive Lensmaker's formula, which gives the relationship between focal length f in terms of radii of two curvatures. As you have seen, or we have defined, a lens is made up of two spherical surfaces. One is ABC, its radius of curvature is C1 and its distance radius is R1. Similarly, for the second surface ADC, the radius of curvature is C2. So, and that is also given by distance R2. And the refractive indices of the medium is also given here in this diagram. This small n is the n1 is the refractive index of the rarer medium. N2 is given here. It is the refractive index of the lens, that is a denser medium. Then again outside this again it is N1. So N1 is the refractive index of the rarer medium and N2 is the refractive index of the spherical surface. Let us derive the equations. First refraction occurs when an incident ray falls at this point from O, a light travels and incident, it gets refracted. So this is given by the relationship which we have derived in section 9.9 is N1 by OB plus N2 by BI1. Here you see first image is formed at I1. Therefore, this is given as BI1 from here to here BI1, that is equal to N2 by N2 minus N1 divided by BC1. BC1 is the radius of curvature of this surface BC1. Now this ray gets refracted and bends here towards normally this normal, that is normal N1, and it falls here. Here again it undergoes second refraction at ADC. Here it is given by the same relationship is given by minus N2 divided by DI1. So DI1 is the distance here, the objective distance. Object for the second ray is here I1. Therefore, minus N2 divided by DI1 plus N1 divided by DI. Here minus DI1 is because the distance is measured opposite to the direction of light, that is from right to left. This is the equation divided by N2 minus N1 divided by DC2. DC2 is the image distance here. Note that N1 is on right hand side and N2 is on the left hand side. Here in this case N1 is on the right hand side, N2 is on the left hand side, as against the exactly opposite to the previous case, as the distance measured is against the direction of the incident light. Adding A and B, we get N1 by OB plus N1 by DI is equal to N2 minus N1 into 1 over BC1 plus 1 over DC2. Therefore, if the object is at infinity, that is at a very long distance, OB tends to be infinity, that is OB is the object distance tends to be infinity. Therefore, N1 by OB, that is N1 by infinity is 0 because infinity is at the denominator. Therefore, this becomes 0 and only N1 over DI remains. Therefore, N1 by F is equal to N2 minus N1 into 1 over BC1 divided by 1 over DC2. The right hand side as it is, only this term gets cancelled because it is infinity. Also note the distances, Di is equal to F, it is the focal point, and BC1 is equal to plus R1. See, it is in the direction of light, so it is R1 left to right, and DC2 is from right to left, therefore it is minus R2, and N2 to N1 is given by N21. Therefore, this equation becomes 1 over F is equal to, if we take N common, 1 over F is equal to N21 minus 1 into 1 over R1 minus 1 over R2. This is equation 9.10. Combination of lenses. Please see the figure. Here the lenses A and B are combined, and we are required to find O is the object and it is sending two rays, OA and OP, and these, after traveling through the lenses, meet at first, when they pass from A, it meet at I1, and then again it reflects, and it, for the second refracted ray, it meets at I on the principal axis. U is the object distance and V1 is the image distance, and which once again becomes image distance for the second length, object distance for the second length, and the final image distance is V, that is Pi. Images are formed by lenses L1 and L2, that is L1 is A and L2 is B. Therefore, 1 over F1 is equal to 1 over V1 minus 1 over U. V1 is the image distance for first lens and U is the object distance. Let it be equation 9.2a. Then for the second lens, when there is a second lens B L2, 1 over F2 is equal to 1 over V. V is the final image V minus 1 over V1. Here V1 is the object distance for the second lens. Let it be equation 9.12b. Therefore, combining these two, we get 1 over F1 plus 1 over F2 is equal to 1 over V minus 1 over U, because 1 over V1 gets cancelled when we add. Let it be equation 9.12c. But 1 over V minus 1 over U is equal to 1 over F. We know from our previous derivations 1 over V minus 1 over U is equal to 1 over F. So, substituting, we get 1 over F1 plus 1 over F2 is equal to 1 over F. So, this is the combination formula for two lenses, there where F1 is the focal length of lens L1, F2 is the focal length of L2, that is B, that is equal to, combination is equal to 1 over F. Let it be equation 9.12d. For combination of n number of cases, lenses, here we have taken 2 only. If you have more n number of lenses, their reciprocals get added up in the ratio shown here, that is 1 over F is equal to 1 over F1 plus 1 over F2 plus etc. up to 1 over F1. Let this be equation 9.12e. Power of combination of lenses, that power, their power, individual power combines. Therefore, P is equal to P1 plus P2. If there are two lenses whose power of lens L1 is P1 and if the power of lens L2 is P2, then the combination is P is equal to P1 plus P2. When lenses are separated by a distance, here the two lenses are together touching one another. If they are separated by a distance d, the formula is revised as 1 over F1 equals this formula, 1 over F1 equals 1 over F1 plus 1 over F2 minus d by F1 F2. Please remember this formula when there is a distance between two lenses. And the power of the combination when the two lenses are separated is given by the equation P is equal to P1 plus P2 minus d of P1 P2. Let this be equation 9.12g. Refraction through prism. A prism is a transparent medium bounded by refracting faces such that the incident surface and the emergent surfaces are plane and non-parallel. Please see the diagram. AB is a refracting surface and AC is a refracting surface, and PQ is the incident ray and it gets refracted, and RS is the emergent ray. So, this is a prism. This is a diagram of prism. ABC is a prism such that incident surface, this is the incident surface and this is the emergent surface. They are non-plane and non-parallel. ABC, I is the angle of incidence, E is the angle of emergence. Here E is the angle of emergence. A is the angle of prism. This is A. This is A angle is angle of prism or refracting angle. R1 and R2 are angles of refraction. So, this is R1 with respect to normal R1 and this is R2. Delta is the angle of deviation. Here when you project it further, the angle of incidence, and if you project backward the emergent ray, they meet at a point M. This angle is delta, given by delta, and called angle of deviation, delta. Angle of deviation. The angle subtended between the direction of incident ray and emergent ray form a prism is called the angle of deviation. This is form a prism and this is called angle of deviation. Prism formula. The refractive index of a material of a prism N, the material, say it is a glass, N is given by the equation sine of A plus delta M by 2, where N is the refractive index of the material of the prism, sine is a trigonometric angle, A is the angle of prism, delta is the angle of deviation divided by 2. So, N is given by, N is equal to sine A plus delta M by 2 divided by sine A by 2. Let this be equation 9.313A, where A is the angle of prism, delta M is the minimum angle of deviation. For a very small angle of prism, delta M sine A plus delta M will be revised as delta M is equal to N minus 1 of A. Let this be equation 9.13b. Question number 25. What is dispersion of light? The phenomenon of splitting of white light into its component colors is known as dispersion. Question number 22. State Rayleigh's law of scattering. The intensity of scattered light, that is the amount of scattering, is inversely proportional to the fourth power of wavelength. Why sky is blue in color? Please note that in your board examination this is deleted, but still this question can be asked in JEE, NEET or CET. That is why let us answer a simple question. Blue has a shorter wavelength than red and is scattered much more strongly than any other color. Violet scatters more than that of blue, but our eyes are more sensitive to blue than violet color. Therefore, sky appears blue. Question number 24. Why sun is red at rise and set? At sunset and sunrise, the sun is at horizon. Sun rays have to pass through larger distance in atmosphere. Most of the blue and other shorter wavelengths are removed by scattering. The least scattered red light reaches our eyes. Hence, sun is red at rise and set and sunset. This question, that is question number 24, is also been deleted in your board examination but not deleted in other competitive examination. Please know this is a everyday phenomenon. Draw a ray diagram of a simple microscope. Here you are required to draw a microscope. This is given as shown below. Here the dark line, this is an object, a small object, and its rays fall on this lens, and the image is formed at infinity, and our eye is here. So u is the object distance and d is the image distance. We can view the image here in our eye. This is the diagram of a simple microscope. Question number 26. Mention the expression for linear magnification of a simple microscope. Answer. When the final image is formed at a distance of vision d, then magnification m is given by, within brackets, 1 plus d by f, where m is the magnification, d is the image distance, and f is the focal length. Question number 27. Mention the expression for angular magnification of a simple microscope. Answer. Magnification m is given by m equals theta 1 divided by theta naught, that is angle of incidence divided by object angle, that is equal to h is the height of object divided by f into d by h, that is h and h gets cancelled and we get magnification m is equal to capital D by f. Next question. Draw a ray diagram showing the image formation in a compound microscope and label its part. Please note you are required not only to draw the diagram but also name its parts. Answer. The required figure is shown in the diagram. Here there are two lenses, objective and objective lens O and eyepiece E. Therefore, here U is the object distance, object AB is the object, and the two rays are incident on O as shown in the diagram, and they converge after refraction, and they meet at the point A dash, and image H dash is formed. This is again incident on the eyepiece E, and the human eye is shown here, and the image is formed at A double dash B double dash. The distance between image and eyepiece is capital D, and hence you please label its parts and distances. F naught, U is the object distance, F naught is the focal length of the objective, and Fe is the focal length of the eyepiece. And the images are shown in the diagram, and the arrows are also the direction of the rays is also shown in the figure. This is the diagram of a compound microscope. Question number 29. Mention the expression for magnification of a compound microscope. Answer. magnification is equal to MO into ME. That is magnification of the objective and magnification of the eyepiece. That is equal to capital L by F naught FO into D divided by FE. Next question. Draw the ray diagram of a refracting telescope and label its part. Here you are required to draw the diagram of a refracting telescope and name its parts. Answer. The required diagram is shown in the figure. Here there are two convex lenses. First one is objective. This is objective, that is with P naught at the point P naught objective, first lens, and second lens is an eyepiece which is of slightly smaller size than objective lens. The rays from a distant object fall on the lens objective at an angle alpha. Alpha is the incident angle. This red color line is a principal axis, and there is an angle, it comes out, and all the rays, incident rays, meet at a point I, that is image. Image is formed at I, and this I, the rays from this eye fall on the eyepiece as shown in the diagram. And the human eye is shown here, and it sees image at infinity. Please note, it is image at infinity, and this is the eyepiece. And different naming labels are FO plus FE is equal to L. That is the length, FO plus FE, where FO is the focal length of objective and FE is the focal length of eyepiece. This is shown here. FO is here and FE is also here. So these are the different parts. This inside a converging rays form at eyepiece at an angle beta. This beta also you have to show it. And the centers should be shown as PO, points PO and PE also should be marked in the diagram. Please draw it very carefully and practice this. There will be definite question on the optical instrument. Mostly it will be a 5-mark question. Next question. Draw a schematic diagram of a reflecting telescope. Answer. The required diagram of a reflecting telescope is shown in the figure and its parts are also named. The objective mirror is a large mirror here. Objective mirror. The rays from a distant object are incident here on this objective mirror and reflected on the convex surface of a secondary mirror. This is a secondary mirror. This is an objective mirror. These rays converge on the eyepiece. The eyepiece is here. Converge and an image is formed. This is a very simple example and simple diagram. Please draw it and name its parts, and this will definitely fetch you a good marks, good percentage of marks.
Work examples. So in order to understand the applications of refractive index, let us take some one or two examples. Here we will take one example 1. A tank is filled with water to a height of 12.5 centimeters. The apparent depth of needle measured with microscope is 9.4 centimeters. What is the refractive index? If water is replaced by a liquid of refractive index 1.63 up to the same height, by what distance would the microscope have to be moved to focus the needle? Okay, please read the example carefully. A tank is filled with water to a height of 1.2 centimeter. So, given real depth is 12.5 centimeter, apparent depth is 9.4. Apparent depth is 9.54 centimeter. Hence, n is equal to n of water we have to find out, that is refractive index of water. Therefore, refractive index n is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Therefore, it is given by 12.5 divided by 9.4. Therefore, refractive index is 1.33. Now, in the case 2, in a liquid they are filled, if the water is replaced by a liquid. Here in case B, we are filling the liquid with a refractive index of 1.63 instead of water. So, the real depth will be equal to, it is same 12.5 centimeter. Therefore, apparent depth we have to find out, and here he has given the refractive index of liquid as 1.63. Earlier we calculated refractive index of water. Now we have to calculate the apparent depth of liquid. Therefore, apparent depth of liquid is equal to real depth divided by NL, that is equal to 12.5 divided by 1.63. Both are given, 12.5 and 1.63, that is equal to 7.67 centimeter. Therefore, distance through which microscope has to be moved is 9.4 the depth of water, apparent depth of water, to apparent depth of liquid minus, that is 7.6 centimeter, is equal to 1.73 centimeter. Example 2. The figures below show the angles of incidence and refractions of the given media. So, he has given angles. Find the refractive indices of respective cases. Find the angle of refraction for case C. So, there are three figures. One is here in the figure given air. In air, the angle of incidence is 60 degrees. So, in glass, when it travels from air to glass, it bends towards the normal. Its angle is in the glass is 35 degrees. I is 60, R is 35. So, let us take example A. In example A, that is refractive index of air to glass is sin 60 and sin I by sin R. This is sin 60 by sin 35. So, by trigonometrical values we find that the ratio sin 60 sin 35 is 1.51. So, let us take case number 2, that is B. Here air, the light ray is entering from air to water. See, the direction is very important, air to water. At air, its angle of incidence is 60 degrees, and when it enters water, it bends towards the normal, that is 47 degrees. So, here air to water is sin 60 divided by sin 47. So, we have to find values of sin 60 and sin 47 from your calculator, and this comes to n, that is refractive index air to glass, air to water will be 1.32. Let us take case number C. Here again it is water to glass, but the angle of incidence is different. Here angle of incidence is 45 degrees and it bends by, here he has not given, he has asked what is the angle, but he has given the refractive index of glass. So, a different angle he has changed. Therefore, the refractive index of water to glass is 1.51. We know, okay, refractive index of 1.51 divided by air to water as 1.32, that is equal to Therefore, refractive index of water to glass is given by sin I by sin R. That is, therefore, sin R is equal to sin I by NWG, that is refractive index of water to glass. That we have given sin 45 is given here, sin 45 divided by sin R we do not know, sin R is taken here. Then refractive index of water to glass is 1.1439, that is equal to water to glass we have found here, that is equal to 0.707 into 1.1439, that is equal to 0.6181. Therefore, sin we have to find here, sin R we have found 0.6181, and we have to take the sin inverse. To find R, we have to take sin inverse of 0.6181, that is equal to 38.2 degrees. Here the angle we found as 38.2 degrees. Having studied the theory and then revising through the study material, let us take up some simple work examples. More work examples will be given in our website as well as the links mentioned in our videos. You please go through and complete all the work examples. Question number 1. You are given following 3 lenses. Which 2 lenses will you use as an eyepiece and as an objective to construct an astronomical telescope? Please go through this table. Here there are 3 lenses given, L1, L2 and L3, and their powers are also given, 3D, 6D and 10D, and their aperture A is also given. Aperture of lens L1 is 8 centimeters, aperture of lens L2 is 1 centimeter, and L3 it is 1 centimeter. So, these are the 3 different apertures and 3 different powers. So, he is asking which one will you select as an eyepiece and which one you will select as an objective to construct an astronomical telescope. The objective of an astronomical telescope should have the maximum diameter. Therefore, and its eyepiece should have maximum power. Therefore, we have to select maximum diameter and maximum power. Hence, L1 could be used as an objective, L1 because of its larger aperture, and L3 because of its maximum power. So, therefore, for astronomical telescope we have to select L1 as objective and L3 as the eyepiece. Question number 2. Calculate the magnification obtained by a compound microscope having an objective of focal length 1.5 centimeter and eyepiece of focal length 2.5 centimeter and tube length of 30 centimeter. Therefore, he is asking us to find the magnification of a compound microscope. Given f naught is equal to 1.5 centimeter, Fe is equal to 2.5 centimeter and L is equal to 30 centimeter. Magnification of compound microscope is given by the equation m is equal to m naught into me. That is given by the formula L by f naught into d by Fe. That is equal to 30 by 1.5 into 25 by 2.5, that is equal to 200. What is the focal length of combination of a convex lens? Question number 3. What is the focal length of combination of convex lens of focal length 30 centimeter and concave lens of 20 centimeter? Is the system a converging or diverging lens? Ignore the thickness of lenses. Therefore, given f1 is equal to 30 centimeters, f2 is equal to minus 20 centimeter, that is concave, because it is a concave lens here, it is minus 20 centimeter, f we have to find out. Formula for combination of lenses is given by 1 over f is equal to 1 over f1 plus 1 over f2. Therefore, 1 over f is equal to 1 over 30 and plus 1 over minus 20, because it is a concave lens, that is equal to minus 60. So, final f is equal to minus 60. Focal length of the combination is minus 60. Therefore, because it is minus, it is a concave lens. So, this system of lens behaves as a concave lens and not converging. So, concave lens are not converging, but diverging. Question number 4. A small telescope has an objective lens of focal length 144 centimeter and an eyepiece of focal length 6 centimeters. This is a small telescope. What is the magnifying power of telescope? 1. That what is the separation between the objective and eyepiece? F naught is equal to 144 centimeters, Fe is equal to 6 centimeters. Therefore, M is equal to, we have to find out, and L also we have to find out. Magnification of small telescope is given by M is equal to minus of F naught by Fe, that is equal to minus 144 divided by 6, that is equal to minus 24. Therefore, M is equal to small telescope minus F naught by Fe, that is equal to minus 24 magnification. So, small telescope tube length is given by L is equal to F naught plus Fe, that is equal to 144 plus 6, that is equal to 150 centimeter. Which of the following properties of light, velocity, wavelength and frequency changes during the phenomenon, reflection and reflection? That means, he has simply asked what happens to velocity, wavelength and frequency when the reflection takes place, or case 1, and case 2 refraction takes place. When reflection takes place, there is no change of velocity, no change of wavelength and no change of frequency in case of reflection. Whereas, in the case of refraction, velocity changes and wavelength changes, but there is no change of frequency. Question number 6. A giant refracting telescope at an observatory has an objective lens of focal length 15 meter. If an eyepiece of focal length 1 centimeter is used, what is the angular magnification of telescope? If this telescope is used to view moon, what is the diameter of the image of moon formed by the objective lens? The diameter of moon is 3.48 into 10 to the power of 6 meters and radius of lunar orbit is 3.8 into 10 to the power of 6 meter. So, he has given the focal length of objective as 15 meter. You see, FO is 15 meter, FE is 1 centimeter. So, you see the difference is, that is a 15 meter and 1 centimeter is the difference. What is the angular magnification? We have to find M, and if this telescope is used to view moon, what is the diameter of the image formed by the objective lens? The diameter of the moon is, he has given the equation, and we have to find the diameter of moon using this giant refracting telescope. So, answer. So, given F naught is equal to 15 meter, Fe is equal to 1 centimeter, that is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters, converting 1 centimeter into meter. Magnification of a telescope. It is given by M is equal to beta by alpha, that is equal to F naught by Fe. that is equal to 15 divided by 1 into 10 to the power of minus 2, that is equal to 1500. So, magnification is 1500. Diameter of moon is 3.48 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meter. So, radius of lunar orbit is 3.8 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meter. So, therefore, angle subtended is equal to d by f naught. That is d by f naught is d is 3.48 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 15 meters. That is given by another, this is the radius. So, d by 15 is equal to 3.48 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 3.8. This value is 0.916. Therefore, d is equal to 0.916 into 15, that is 13.74 meters. Let us take up last example. Cassegrain telescope uses two mirrors built with mirrors 20 mm apart. If the radius of curvature of large mirror is 220 mm and the small mirror is 40 mm, where will the image of an object at infinity be? Here the object, that is some terrestrial body, is at infinity, and we are having two mirrors, one large mirror whose radius of curvature is 220, R1 is 220 and R2 is 40 mm, and we have to find the final image of object. The Cassegrain telescope consists of a concave mirror and a convex mirror. Distance between objective mirror and a secondary mirror is 20 mm. Radius of curvature of objective mirror is R1 is equal to 220. Hence, focal length of objective is given by f1 is equal to R1 by 2, that is equal to 110 mm. Radius of curvature of secondary mirror is R2 is equal to 140 mm. Therefore, f2 will be is equal to 140 divided by 2, that is equal to 70 mm. The image of an object placed at infinity formed by the objective mirror will act as a virtual object for the secondary mirror. Hence, the virtual object distance for the secondary mirror is u is equal to f1 minus d, that is equal to 110 minus 20 equals 90 mm. Applying the mirror formula for the secondary mirror, we can get 1 over f2 is equal to 1 over v plus 1 over u, that is equal to 1 over v is equal to 1 over f2 minus 1 over u. The answer is 2 by 630. Therefore, reversing, v will be equal to 630 by 2. 630 by 2 is 350 mm. Hence, the final image will be formed 315 mm away from the secondary mirror.
Multiple choice questions. These are objective type of questions where four options, a question is asked and four options are given. You are required to select the correct answer. Question number 1. An equiconvex lens of focal length 15 cm is cut into two halves as shown in the figure. Find the focal length of each part. A. Minus 30 cm. B. Minus 20 centimeters, C 30 centimeter and D minus 15 centimeter. The figure is shown. Answer. The correct answer is C. Please use the formula and find out the focal length. Question number 2. How does the focal length of a convex lens change if monochromatic red light is used instead of violet light? Focal length is increased when option A, focal length is increased when red light is used. Focal length is decreased when red light is used. Focal length remains same when red light is used. Not depend, option D, not depends on the color of the light. Answer A, that is focal length is increased when red light is used. Question number 3. A glass lens is immersed in water. What will be the effect on the power lens? A. Increases. B. Decrease. C. Constant. D. Does not depend. Answer is B. Question number 4. How does the magnifying power of a telescope change on increasing the linear diameter of an objective? Option A. Power increases on increasing the diameter. Power decreases on decreasing the diameter. C. Power remains constant on increasing the diameter, and power does not depend on diameter. Correct answer is D. You have to remember all these things. Question number 5. What is the magnification and focal length of a plane mirror? Option A, +1 and infinity, that is magnification is 1 and focal length is infinity. Option B, magnification is 1 and focal length is 0. Option C, magnification is -1 and focal length is infinity. And option D, magnification is -1 and 0. Please examine all the options, and the correct answer is A. That is magnification for a plane mirror is +1 and infinity. Question number 6. An object approaches a convergent lens from left of the lens with a uniform speed of 5 meters per second and stops at focus. The image, 4 options are there. A moves away from the lens with uniform speed 5 meters per second. B moves away from lens with a uniform acceleration. C moves away from the lens with a non-uniform acceleration. Option D moves towards the lens with a non-uniform acceleration. Correct answer is C. Question number 7. An astronomical telescope has a large aperture to increase the span of observation, B have low dispersion, reduce spherical observation, and have high resolution. Correct answer is D. Question number 8. The optical density of a turpentine is higher than that of a water, while its mass density is lower. Shows a layer of turpentine floating over water in a container. For which one of the four rays the incident on turpentine is the path shown is correct. The diagram is shown and the correct answer is B. That is the ray number 2 is the correct answer. Question number 9. The diameter of objective of the astronomical telescope is doubled if its limit of resolution is A. Doubled, B. 1/4, C. Halved, and option D is unaffected. Correct answer is halved. That is, when the diameter of the objective is doubled, the resolution is halved. Question number 10. A short pulse of white light incident on air to glass slab at normal incidence. After traveling through the slab, the first color to emerge is option A violet, B blue, C green, and D is red. Correct answer is D. Question number 11. Two lenses of focal lengths 20 cm and 40 cm are held in contact. In an objective, if an objective lies at infinity, image formed by the lens combination will be at A infinity, B is 20 centimeters, C is 40 centimeters, D is 60 centimeters. Correct answer is 60 centimeters, 40 centimeters. That is correct option is C, that is 40 centimeters. Question number 12. The resolving power of a compound microscope is option A, D equals lambda by 2 mu sin theta. Option B, 1 by D is equal to 2 mu sin theta by lambda. Option C is D theta equals 1.22 lambda divided by D. And option D is 1 over d theta equals D by capital D by 1.22 lambda. The correct answer is B, that is 1 by D is equal to 2 mu sin theta by lambda. Option number 13. Question number 13. Optical fibers are based on phenomena of A. Reflection, refraction. Option B is refraction. Option C is dispersion. And option D is total internal reflection. So the correct answer is D. That is the phenomena of total internal reflection is used in optical fibers. Question number 14. The characteristic feature of light which remains unaffected on refraction is speed, B is frequency, C is wavelength, and D is velocity of light. That means which characteristic remains unaffected by refraction? Answer is B. The frequency of the light will not change if it undergoes refraction. So let us switch to the next type of questions, that is completion type. Here it is a blank is left in the question which you have to fill by remembering the particular correct answer. Question number 1. An air bubble in a jar of water shines brightly is an example of total internal reflection. You please remember. Question number 2. The line A and B in the ray diagram of figure represents a dash lens. You have to fill up the blank. That means it is a diverging and oblique concave lens. Question number 3. One diopter is a dash of lens of focal length dash meter. One diopter is power. Here there are two blanks. One diopter is power. We know it is a unit of power. And focal length is 1 meter by definition. Question number 4. In the minimum deviation position, the refracted ray in the prism is parallel to the base of prism. Next question. The Cassegrainian telescope, a large aperture dash mirror and a small aperture dash mirror is used. So concave mirror is used, which is of large aperture, and small aperture is a convex mirror. Please remember this. Question number 6. The deviation through a prism is minimum when the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of emergence. Question number 7. The image formed by the convex mirror is always virtual and erect. Question number 8. A convex mirror is used as a rear view mirror because it has a wider field of view. Question number 9. Light of wavelength 6000 angstroms falls on a plane mirror. The wavelength of the reflected light is 6000 Armstrong unit. The answer is given in the question itself. That is, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Question number 10. The total internal reflection must occur when angle of incidence is more than critical angle. This is by the definition of TIRR. Question number 11. A ray of light undergoes refraction twice on passing through a prism. Question number 12. In the minimum deviation position, the refracted ray is parallel to the base of prism. Question number 13. Total internal reflection will occur when the light travels from denser medium to rarer medium. This is by definition. Question number 4. The basic course of refraction is change in velocity of light in going from one medium to another. The basic cause of refraction, that is, the refraction occurs due to change in velocity from one medium to another medium. Question number 15. One diopter is the power of a lens of focal length 1 meter. Question number 16. Due to refraction, the depth of an optically denser medium appears to be less than its real depth. Question number 17. When light undergoes refraction, its frequency remains same. Question number 18. If two thin lenses of power P1 and P2 are held in contact, then the power of combination will be P1 plus P2. Question number 19. A convergent lens made of crown glass of refractive index 1.5 has a focal length of 20 centimeters in air. If it is immersed in a liquid of refractive index, its focal length will be 160 centimeter. You can calculate and verify. The formula is given in the last slide of this video. Next question. The frequency changes when light passes from a rarer medium to denser medium. These questions are true or false type question. The frequency changes when the light passes from a rarer medium to denser medium. False, because frequency remains constant. Question number 2. A ray of light passes through a glass slab. The shift produced in the path of emergent ray depends on the refractive index. Correct. True. Question number 3. When a convex lens placed inside a transparent medium of refractive index greater than that of its own material, it behaves as a concave lens. True. Fourth question. The deviation delta of a ray on passing through a prism of small angle A is mu minus 1 into A. True. Question number 5. The correct formula for magnifying power of a simple microscope is in normal adjustment. Adjustment is m equals 1 plus d by f. It is false. Question number 6. Light ray passes through a medium mu equals 3 by 2. The speed of light in this medium is 2 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. It is true. Please verify using the calculations. Question number 7. A thin prism of angle 12 degrees gives a deviation of 6 degrees. The refractive index of material of the prism is 1.5. True. Question number 8. The use of optical fiber is based on phenomenon total internal reflection. True. Question number 9. If refractive index of water is 4 by 3 and that of glass is 3 by 2, then refractive index of water with respect to glass is 9 by 8. That is false. Question number 10. In reflecting type telescope, image is brighter as compared to the refracting type telescope. True. Question number 11. When size of atmospheric particles is very small compared to wavelength of light, then intensity of scattered light is given by 1 alpha 1 lambda 2. That is false. Question number 12. The basic cause of dispersion is difference in deviation produced for wavelength of different colors. True. Next question. The formula for magnifying power of a simple microscope in adjustment for least distance of distinct is given by m equals 1 plus d by f. True. Question number 4. You have to remember the formula. A telescope uses on an objective lens of focal length f0 and eye lens of focal length fe. In the normal adjustment, the separation between two lenses is f0 minus fe. That is false. That is objective lens, the difference between the objective lens and the eye lens. Question number 15. Smaller the limit of resolution of an optical instrument, greater is the resolving power. True. Question number 16. The relation between critical angle and refractive index is mu is equal to 1 over sin c. It is true. This formula you have to remember. Question number 17. Dispersion is the phenomena that takes place inside an optical fiber. It is false because in optical fiber total internal reflection takes place. Question number 18. In a concave mirror, when the object is located beyond C, the magnification is equal to 1. This is false. Question number 19. Total internal reflection occurs when the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. It is true. Answer is true. Question number 20. An air bubble inside a glass slab, mu equals 1.5, appears at 6 centimeters when viewed from the opposite side. The thickness of slab is 10 centimeter. It is false. Please calculate for question number 20. Please calculate using the formula of thickness of the slab. Question number 21. When light undergoes refraction, the wavelength decreases in denser medium. It is true. When the light undergoes refraction, the wavelength decreases. Now, the mapping type questions. Column A, there are certain statements and certain questions are asked and answers are given in correct. 4 answers are given in column B. You have to choose the correct and match it. Okay. Question number 1. Resolving power of microscope is 1 by d is equal to 2 mu sin theta by lambda. You have to remember the formula in this case. 1b. Resolving power of an astronomical telescope is 1 by d theta is equal to d by 1.22 lambda. This formula also you have to remember. All the formulae used in this chapter are given separately in a table in the end. Question number 2. The color A. The color scattered most is blue. 2b. The color scattered least is red. Question number 3. A. Intensity of scattered light is directly proportional to 3b. The total internal reflection occurs when the light travels from denser medium to rarer medium. That is option Q. Important formulae are given in this slide. Focal length f is equal to r by 2. Snell's law, sin I by sin r is equal to n2 by n1, where r that is equal to n2 by n1, where n2 1 is the refractive index of the medium. Refraction in multimedia, it is given by n21 is equal to 1 over n12 or n32 is equal to n31 into n12. Refractive index of medium n is equal to velocity or speed of light in vacuum divided by speed of light in a medium. That is given by the relationship sin I by sin r. Serial 5. If the objective of the medium of refractive index is n is equal to real depth by apparent depth. That is equal to t by t apparent, or apparent shift x is given by x is equal to t minus t by n equals t into 1 minus 1 over n. Serial 6. The critical angle for total internal reflection is given by sin c is equal to 1 over refractive index from rarer medium to denser medium, that is equal to 1 by n, that is from denser medium to rarer medium. Question number 7. Refraction at spherical convex surface V is given by image distance. V is the image distance, U is the object distance. It is given by the relationship N2 divided by V, where V is the image distance, N2 is the refractive index of medium 2, minus N1 by U, where U is the object distance and N1 is the refractive index of the rarer medium. That is also given by the formula N2 minus N1 divided by R. Serial number 8. Lens formula is 1 by F is equal to 1 over V minus 1U. Using this formula, you answer all objective type of questions. For combination of n number of lenses, 1 over f1 plus 1 over f2 is equal to 1 over f r. That can also be written as, if there are more than two lenses, 1 over f is equal to 1 over f1 plus 1 over f2 plus etc. plus 1 over fn. Linear magnification is given by m is equal to image distance over the object distance, that is equal to v by u. Question number 11. Lens maker's formula is given by 1 over f is equal to 1 over v minus 1 over u. That is also given by 1 over f equals refractive index from glass to air or air to glass minus 1 into 1 over r1 minus 1 over r2. That can be simplified as 1 over f into n minus 1 into big bracket 1 over R1 minus 1 over R2. We will continue with the important formulae because there are large number of formulae in this section. Power of lens P is given by P is equal to 1 over F, where P is in diopter and F is 1 meter. P is also given by, for combination of lenses, P1 plus P2. And when there is a separation between two lenses by a distance d, power P is given by P is equal to P1 plus P2 minus d into P1 P2. This also you remember if they give the separation as d. Next formula is focal length of lens in liquid is F1 is equal to refractive index of glass minus 1 divided by whole thing divided by refractive index of glass with respect to N1 minus 1 into Fa, where Fa is the focal length of the lens in air. Refraction through a prism is given by R1 plus R2, where angle R1 and R2 are the refracted angles, is equal to A, angle A. That is also given by I plus E is equal to A plus delta, where A is the angle of prism and delta is the angle of deviation. For minimum deviation, I is equal to E is equal to I, and R1 plus R2 is equal to R. Therefore, delta M is given by 2I minus A. Refractive index of a material of a prism. N is equal to sine of A plus delta M by 2 whole thing divided by sine A by 2. For small angle of prism, delta M is equal to N minus 1 into A. Angle of dispersion. Therefore, that is given by delta V, that is for violet color minus delta R. In VIBGYOR, delta V minus delta R, that is dispersive power, is also given by omega. That is omega equals delta V minus delta R divided by delta V. That is equal to NV minus NR divided by NY minus 1, where NV is the refractive index for violet color and NR is the refractive index of red color divided by NY, yellow color, minus 1. Simple magnifying powers of simple microscope. It is given by M is equal to 1 plus D by F. See, these formulas you have to remember and answer all the objective type of questions. That is, this formula holds good if the image is at a distance capital D. If the final image is at infinity, it is M is equal to D by F. Compound microscope. Capital M is given by MO into ME. That is, MO is the magnification of objective and ME is objective of the eyepiece. This is given by the formula M is equal to minus of L over F naught into, open the floor bracket, 1 plus D by F naught. This formula holds good when the final image is at a distance D. If the final image is at infinity, the formula gets simplified as M is equal to minus L by F naught into D by F naught. Astronomical telescope. The formula when the final image is at a distance D, M is equal to minus F naught over Fe into 1 plus Fe by D, and length L is equal to F naught plus UE. F naught is the focal length of objective and U is the object distance. When the image is formed at infinity, in case of astronomical telescope, M is equal to minus F naught by Fe and length is given by Fo plus Fe. Resolving power of microscopes and telescope. Resolving power. In case of a microscope, resolving power is given by Rp is equal to 1 over d. That is equal to 2n sin theta by lambda. The next case is resolving power of a telescope. In this case, m is equal to 1 over d theta. See here, the difference microscope is 1 by d and telescope is 1 by d theta. That is given by a divided by 1.22 lambda.